Hello, this is Dawn from Frosty I know it's been a very long time since I made a floss tube, and I really didn't know if I would make one again or not. I haven't been watching very much Flosstube. I haven't commented on Flosstubes that I watched. I'm not very happy with the Flosstube community at the moment. Various reasons for that. I won't go into it. So the main reason why I haven't been watching is that I'm still suffering from this tiredness that I had. I told you in early videos. I'm really sorry. The light it's very difficult. We still have summer. There's no fall here yet. Fall starts usually 22nd, 23rd of September, but we've had a heat wave. Still no proper rain. It rains for a few, maybe half an hour, and that's been going on for months. Like, I would say probably May. Since May we haven't had rain. So as you can see, the sun's shining, but I can't really do anything with lighting because it'd be too bright, not bright enough. So the sun's going in, it's going out, it's too hot, and I have to film now because the building site in my backyard, they stop at about 3 o'clock. On a Friday they usually finish at 5, but on Friday they leave early. It's mostly the French, and they want to get home before the rush hour, so they leave Friday at 3 o'clock. Also, I've got right outside of my bedroom window, I live in a corner house, and my bedroom is like right in the corner, and the next house is a corner house. They've got their bathrooms there, and then the balconies, they come out of the kitchen on the balconies, and these balconies are going to be redone. And everybody, they knew that the building site will be in the backyard. They knew this was coming, but we could just keep it open until the final decision was made. So everybody who had to do anything in a backyard, whatever, they've done that. And now the building site is here, and now they've decided to do this. So taking scaffolding through our houses is pretty difficult because we have old houses, and if you have something that's 2 meters long, you can't get it through the house. So bringing scaffolding through the house is a nightmare. It's right outside my window. Also, from the outside you can't see where my house, well, the house that I live in, I only rent, my house stops and theirs starts. So I've got scaffolding in front of my window, and they're not building on my house. And when they put the scaffolding up, it was so much noise. I think they hit pretty much everything they could. They dropped everything they could, and it was an absolute nightmare. Scaffolding is up, and I don't know when the work will start, and that's going to be, yeah. So I know that they just left. They left for a break because the scaffolding has to be drilled with a jackhammer into the wall to hang on, and I will not be able to film. And like I said, I didn't know if I would make a floss tube or not. I was going to do one last week. I was going to do one yesterday, and well, now it's just happened. So I'm really sorry, and I'm jammering on, and you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But just know that I'm really sorry about the lighting. Today I cannot change it. I can't. It'll be bright. It'll just whatever. And when the noise starts up, I'm really sorry. I can't change that either. I tried to close all the windows, all the doors, all the blinds, whatever. Well, noise cancelling. But yeah. So I don't know what the latest is that you heard about me, but I was really tired. I was sleeping like 12 to 14 hours a day, and then getting up and being so tired that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't stitch, I couldn't watch Flosstube, I couldn't do anything. My doctor saw me more than once, drew blood, and then referred me to a specialist. I had to do small tests, I had to do big tests. He doesn't know, he said basically there's one blood, my potassium level is too low. And as I don't have a high blood pressure, it's nothing serious. That's what he says. So he did some more tests and said I can go back to my normal doctor, but I'm healthy. Just that my potassium level is too low and I sleep too much. But I can't not sleep. I'm just really tired, and so most of the day I just can't do anything. Just yeah. My doctor, my personal doctor, he said that he would not let me go back to the kitchen. He said that job makes me ill, so he wrote me a doctor's note. So I was off for definitely 1 month, and then I gave in my notice, which was another month, so I was off there for 2 months. Nobody from there phoned me to ask, you know, oh, you're sick, are you coming back? How long will you stay away? Hope you will get better. After I gave him my notice, there was no, oh dear, is there something we can do that you stay, or thank you for working for us, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just the bare minimum, and it's a disgrace. It's a sheltered workplace and it's a disgrace. So I'm finished with them, and so that means I had like 2 months of staying at home every day, not doing anything, sleeping too much. Then the summer holidays, the World Cup, I went public viewing, but after that there was nothing again, and it's been bad. It was really bad. It was. I didn't go into depression, which is good for me, but it wasn't good for me staying at home so long, alone. It's just, yeah. Thank you to everybody who wished me well, who wrote kind words, who encouraged me to just hang in there and told me my stitchy bug would come back and it all would work out. So thank you to everybody out there who did that. It was really nice that you think of me and to encourage me and to just tell me to hang on, it'll be better. Yeah, so I quit my job and I got a job coach who should help me get a new job in the first working market. At the beginning I thought he's really good. He's not. I had lots of trouble with him. So he got me into a bakery as a sort of daily structure thing, because, you know, he thought that if I was working in a kitchen, I might as well work in a bakery for a daily structure so that I don't go mental staying at home. And this is a start-up company for a bakery. It used to be the oldest bakery in Basel, and it's quite tiny, small, and it's a start-up. It's basically 2 of them, it was 3 of them. They took over this bakery and they have no bakery experience, and now there are about 40 people in this company, and they still actually don't know what they're doing or how they're doing it, but it's good, it's fun, they're young people, they're a bit alternative, but good food. The bakery is a bit more expensive because they really do everything from scratch. In the kitchen they said, yes, we make everything from scratch. You got everything out of deep freeze or canned foods or whatever. Here they really do everything down to the zest from the lemon, whatever. Everything is made by hand. So it's worth the money. It's a bit more expensive, but the bakery, the small bakery, is really nice. They made a big there's a bigger bakery further out. And when I went to this interview and I said, well, you would be working in the bakery and that's out there. And I said like, sorry, not possible. I can't do it, can't go there. My coach tried to sort of say, yeah, let's leave that point aside and just look. And I said, no, you can't leave that point aside. I cannot get there. Finished. And I don't know, I was just awake enough to sort of ask, you know, we've met here in this place. This is not the bakery. This is also not the bakery where you want to send me. I expected this to be the bakery. So what do you actually have here? And she said, well, this is basically our office, because we haven't got big enough space for office wherever we are. So this is the office, and also the IT is here. And I said, you have IT? Like, okay, IT? And she said, yeah, we have like 2 programmers that they do. And I was like, oh, have you seen on my CV that? And she said, you know, I'll go and get one. So yeah, one of the IT guys came up and he heard, I mean, the questions that I asked, he immediately knew that I know what I'm talking about. I come from IT. That's where I want to go. And he said, well, I have no idea how to interview an IT person because I'm not from the IT department. I used to be a cook. So I just said, look, I'll come around and you tell me in 2 hours, what's the input, what are you doing, what's the output, and I can tell you if I can help you or not. So that happened. It was good. It was the 2 guys and they're really nice. And just the questions that I asked let them know that I know IT, I know databases, I know how to program. So even though they have no idea and what they've built is like a sandcastle that might actually fall to pieces, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I got my disability officer to sign off on it. My coach nearly messed it up, so I started on Monday, the 10th. The Monday before that, I had my interview. That was, for the Americans, it was Labour Day, so that was what, 3rd of September. That was when I had my interview with them. I came back, I wrote an email to my coach, to my disability officer, saying, I'm going to go and work there. Period. Get me that job. I need that job. My disability officer phoned me the next day. I discussed everything with him and he said I can do a work training. It's sort of, I go and work there and I get to know the whole company and I work for them. But because it's work training, I don't get paid because they said they cannot employ me because they're a start-up and they haven't got the money in their budget for an IT person. And the disability office then lets me work there for between 1 and 3 months. And they can then decide that, well, Dawn's done such a good job, we really need to take her. And then they can like offer me a position, give me a contract, let me work for them. Even if that doesn't happen, if they still cannot afford me, I mean, I'm not going for the pay that I used to have. I'm not looking for a career. I told them that. I told them I want a job where I feel happy, where I work 50%, where I work in IT that I really like. Then I'm happy. So I just hope that I can work these 3 months there. And then either they employ me or I then go and find a different IT job. But it should be easy having 3 months work on it. So fingers crossed that it'll work out. But I've done a week now, 50%, 3 mornings, 2 afternoons, and it was like I felt at home. It was easy, the people are nice. I even managed to do more work-wise than I actually expected to. It all came back. And the first day I was like, oh my god, they program in German? Nobody programs in German. But I got a hang of it, and yeah, today I had a breakthrough. I had one yesterday, and it's always like, yeah, I've done it! It's, yes! It's only 3 of us at the moment in a small office, so that we can sort of discuss everything and don't disturb the other people. It was just so good. It was really good, and I'm really happy. And I'm pretty sure they'll keep me for 3 months because, I mean, workforce for no pay. Why not? Take it. Take it. And I think they do, so. And I've rambled on for 15 minutes. I'm really sorry about that. This is meant to be a floss tube. Yeah, like I said, due to being tired, not being motivated, I haven't stitched a lot. Also, there were lots of events on. I was going to tell you about them in my floss tubes. So I wrote down what happened. We had the 1st of August, which is our National Day. We also had the eclipse of the moon, which was also a red moon at the same time, a full red moon and a full eclipse. And I saw it with my own eyes without camera lenses or anything. I saw it between 2 buildings. It was amazing. It was something you cannot describe. You have to see it. It's different than an eclipse of the sun. We had one of those a few years ago. It's totally different. It feels different. It looks different. It's also, it was, because it was a red moon, it was about 110 minutes of full eclipse. Also, if you would have had a telescope, you would have seen other planets. It was undescribable. I don't know what to say. I have pictures, but the pictures don't show you anything, so I won't even include them. And also something that happened was, it was the 27th Street Parade. I don't know, you might have heard of the Love Parade that used to be in Berlin. Then they stopped it because they had more people coming into Berlin that actually live in Berlin, and they couldn't do it anymore. So I think it was in Dresden, and there was this horrible accident where lots of people died, and they stopped the Love Parade. The Street Parade is in Zurich, and I didn't go to the first one because the first one nobody heard about it, but I was already in a techno rave scene, so I went to the second, third and fourth Street Parade. The first one I went to, we were 3,000 people, and it was fun because we were dressed up for a rave, and we went right through town, and people looked at us like, what are you doing here? Who are you? Why have you got a pacifier in your mouth? Why are you wearing white glove? Why are you hardly dressed? And then the fourth one, I think we had, I don't know, 2 million people? And it was just so many people that actually don't even know what a rave is or what techno music was. So, and they drank beer. I'm used to going to raves where lots of people take drugs. So no alcohol is served. You just can't, you bring your own alcohol if you want, if it's outside. If it's indoors, there's no alcohol served. If you take drugs, that's your own problem. But lots of people take drugs, no alcohol. Now it's different. And I can't understand it because I would never mix drugs and alcohol. Never. I never did drugs, okay, so you never heard that from me. This is not on YouTube or anything, so you never heard anything about this. Yeah, so these events happened during this time. I was going to tell you all about them, but they're past, they're gone, so yeah. What I also missed is my Flosstube anniversary, the first one. That was on the 26th of July. I could not do a floss tube. Anyway, I had nothing to show. I had like no stitching to show. I wouldn't know what to do, and doing a giveaway with the few people that I have who watch me, nah. I sprinkle stitchy kindness to the people who I talk to, who I'm friends with, and I put up on Instagram that when I hit 500 subscribers I'll do a giveaway. At the moment it doesn't look that I'll be doing a 500 subscriber giveaway, so I might just do another giveaway sometime whenever I feel like it. But at the moment I can't. I don't have the money. I don't have an LNS, so me ordering stuff from 123 Stitch to have it sent here to then send it back into the US, because probably it's going to be US or UK that wins a giveaway, so it just doesn't really make sense to me, so I hope you can excuse that. But I've been doing Flosstube for a year and I thought that was the end, but apparently I've come back, and it depends now how this works with work, because I'm still, even though work was really good and I don't feel too tired when I come home, the tiredness is still here and it's not gone away. I think my doctor expected me to go back to work, and once I start work that the tiredness would go, but it hasn't. And okay, this has only been my first week, but I don't expect it to disappear yet. So who knows how much stitching I'll get in, because I haven't been stitching very much this week. Not because I'm too tired from work, it's just still the same condition as before. Also, like I said, I'm not watching very much Flosstube. I'm so behind on Flosstube. I'm really sorry, so if I don't catch people who mention me, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to catch up on certain people that are important to me, that I like, that I communicate with. Some will just fall through the cracks, as it does, because once the queue is too long they just fall out underneath and I don't see them. So just sorry, and I really would like to watch, but it's got a bit out of hand. Yeah. Anyway, so that was 23 minutes. I'm really so sorry. This should be actually a Flosstube. So let's get to stitching. I know that Jessie Marie does stuff 5 year. Congratulations, Jessie Marie, on your 5-year anniversary. I did not participate in that, but I followed it. I followed the people who did it. I thought that was fun. I also really enjoyed the arbitrary August that Stitching Mummy invented. It was fun. It was because the people posted on Instagram or in a Flosstubes, and you could sort of watch. It was like a sort of a mini version of a whip parade. So you got to see so many projects that this person has been working on. It was like mini whip parades. It was really fun, and it was fun to see that people who fell out of love with one project spun the wheel, got this project, started working on it and loved it, and then wanted to finish it but had to move on to the next one and fell in love with nearly every project again. Also, some people found projects that they didn't want to do anymore, so they put them away, and I think that's good. And Stitching Mummy also then did a whip parade of all the whips that she didn't touch, and I thought that was a really good idea because I got to see everyone. I think there was one in there that I had the feeling I've never seen before. There were 2 of them, but I think the second one I've seen, but there was one that I have the feeling I've never seen that. It's strange, but it's fun. It was really fun to watch, even though I didn't join in. But what I did join in, thanks to Jessie Marie, was the 100 Days of Hate challenge. I was late on the entry, so I couldn't really participate. in a sense that I would post my day 0 on a day 0 and then post a 10 day, 20 day, because I started on the 8th. So I put up an album and I've put in at least 1 stitch every day, took a picture and put that in my album, and I think I'm day 68 or something, day 69. I've still got to do my stitches, but I've been doing it and I'm just doing it for me. I'm not entering any of the challenges because I can't. I missed the beginning, so, but I've put work into it, and I know I'm a slow stitcher, and people are putting a 2 weeks, 3 weeks in to have a page finish out of nothing. How do you do that? I don't know. Anyway, this is what I've got. The first page over here, that's the one that I had finished. So I'm stitching the second page, and this is the work that I've done. And like I say, this is not quite 70 days work. Some days I would stitch like an hour or 2 hours on it, and some days I would just stitch 1 stitch, 2 stitches. But I've stitched every single day. And looking at this now through the camera, it looks a lot different than what I see. And it looks good. And it looks promising. And no, I will not finish the page in 100 days. But now in the full coverage fanatics group that Anne P opened up last year on my birthday, the 21st of September, she's now also done challenges like this. It's sort of 90 days of full coverage. And that's not specifically HAID, it's full coverage. And I have my train project, which is full coverage but not a HAID. And I really want to get back to that. And to sign up for 90 days on one project, I think that's a really good idea, because people have done, they put goals up for this, like they would say, I stitch a quarter of an hour every day, or I stitch 200 stitches every day. I don't do that. I just say every day at least 1 stitch. If I get more in, I'll get more in. But this is one project, and I tried to have like a second project on the go, which was more trouble, so this was a priority to put at least 1 stitch in. If the other one didn't get any stitches, I didn't really care about that. But thank you so much, Jessie Marie, because I don't think my HAID would be any further than 1 page if you didn't mention that more than once. And I know that you're out of the challenge, but you're still stitching, and you're stitching all kinds of stuff, so I don't think that you said you were not in it for winning prizes, you were in it for winning, for doing the stitches, and you stitch enough, so I don't think it really matters that you're out of that one, because you're still stitching. Let's see. Yeah. By now probably everybody has heard about the not so secret Mr. X Stitch Christmas bobble event. And I stitched my bobble, I showed it, I sent it in, and Mr. X Stitch actually did, when he got the first, I don't know how many bobbles, he did a sort of slideshow of the bobbles. And mine is on the cover. Yay. Mine is in the slideshow, so you can see it, and then it says, I think it says something like Stitched by Dawn Ramsayer, Basel, Switzerland. And it's like, I'm in it! And Becky from Scotland, she stitched hers as well, and we've been in communication, and hers was in it as well. And I think Stitchy Witch 42 sent me a message like, your bobble is on Flosstube, on Mr. X Stitch's Flosstube. And then Becky sent me, we're on Mr. X Stitch's Flosstube, and it's just like, yay! It just was so fun to see that it really is a project, and it's really happening. And if you've stitched a bobble, please start sending them in, because he puts them up on his Facebook page, and I think he's going to do another show, a dia show of the bobbles that he's got. Send them in, please send them in before the due date, because I can see them, everybody can see them, and he needs them. And if you'll only send it in for the the date that, what is it, the 18th of October or something like that, if he gets them all in the last minute, that's too late. Send them in now, please. And while I'm just on the subject, Becky, I heard your news today, and I'm really sad for you, and I hope that this won't get you down, that you have your family and that you have Garen looking after you. And I wish you well, and I'll be thinking of you. Just, you're there, okay? I'm thinking of you, and your bobble will be up, hopefully next to mine, on a Christmas tree in Stanton House. We've done it, Becky. You and me, we've both put a bobble in. And Amanda, Scottish Stitcher, send yours in if you haven't already, because I haven't seen it yet. So please, because we did it together. We did a sort of stitch along, just so that we could get it done long before the due date. Yeah, I finished the piece. I said, yeah. I watched football. Yeah, I didn't really realise that when the World Cup is on, I actually watch the football, so I can't stitch during the games. Yeah, and if there's 3 games in the day, there's not much stitchy time. But I finished this, and I'm dreadfully embarrassed. Okay, because I can't show it too near because it's not been ironed. It's not been framed professionally, it's just been stuck in there. It's got wrinkles in it, and I put a sort of just a border around it, and it looks, yeah, it looks disgusting. Sorry, but if you look at it from far away, you can see that what it looks like. It's not too bad. But what you can see is it has a few words, and it has the outline of the football field. Okay, I'm talking about soccer for the Americans, just that you know, soccer field. So what it took is, I only did the outline, I only did half stitch. Okay, so, and then these few words, and it took me about 2 months to stitch. I don't know who keeps telling me that words stitch up so fast. It's absolutely not true. 2 months. 2 months. I'm sorry. I was so embarrassed. I was so happy when I finished it. And I put my signature in the goal, like there. I put my signature in, and I put it down. I looked at it for the first time, and I looked at it, and I said, like, how long have I been stitching this? There's nothing on it. I'm sorry, but there's nothing on this piece to stitch. I mean, 100 days of hate, okay? That's way more stitching. And some days only 1 stitch. 2 months on this. I'm sorry, but it's hanging. It's not iron. I don't own an iron. Okay, so I wanted to stretch it, but this is just a sort of a ribbon that I've put in. So I wanted the ribbon to be flat, so I couldn't stretch the fabric, and it's just. But I hung it like behind my door, so if you come in you can't see it, but once the door's closed you're probably sitting down, so you can't see that it's creased. But I felt so ashamed, like 2 months for that. Yeah, anyway, I finished it, so oh, thank goodness. Anyway, there was a lovely giveaway by Lou's Cross Stitch. She's on Instagram. She did this giveaway on Instagram, but she's also got a floss tube. I like watching her. She's nice. So please go and follow her if you're not doing that already. And as you know, as before, I haven't shown it on Flosstube. I'm not allowed to use it. She did a giveaway for 3 winners for her Etsy shop. She's got an Etsy shop, and I found this lovely fabric that she had. It's beautiful. It's really, this is so nice. This fabric is like really, really nice. So I could choose this fabric, and I could choose the size of the project bag that I would like. And it's got like it's purple lining inside. You can't see, it's probably blue for you, but this fabric is beautiful, and she stitched it really nice. And she said she'll have to stitch it first, so she doesn't know when it'll come. And they also had a heat wave. She's from the UK. Yeah, she's from the UK. They also had a heat wave, and so she said she doesn't know when it'll get to me, but it actually didn't take that long. I think she had her 2 weeks that she said she would use to stitch it, and then it got here in no time, and it's really beautiful. I really love it. I love the fabric. It's so nice, and it's well made, and I can really use this. So now that I've shown it, it's going to stay out because it's going to be used. Even if I don't stitch, I've got projects, so I need project bags. Don't worry. Then I got some stitchy kindness from Amanda, Scottish Stitcher. I told her once that there was this one pattern that I wanted, and she said she's got it. So I didn't order it. She said she'll send it to me, and then I can stitch whatever I like and then send it back. So I never ordered it. She placed an order, she got one for me, so I've got my own. She gave me a lovely card, and she also included this. So yeah, I've got lots of stitching to do, I know that. I've got loads of projects, I know that as well. I really like the top. I really like this bit. I like that so much. I also like that it's got a cow that is black and white, because we have black and white cows in Switzerland. Most of them are black and white. We now also have different breeds, of course, but when I was young and we had to go walking every weekend, we would meet black and white cows. So yeah, that needs to be stitched sometime. Sometime maybe. And then I won another giveaway. That was basically I saw this, I commented on it, I reposted it or whatever, and somebody then saw it on my Instagram and reposted it and said that she saw it on my Instagram. And then, due to the fact that she won and had tagged me, I also won. So thank you very much. And it was, I got the rainbow thread pack from Choudhury Designs. So these are the colours. Well, you can't really see them, but I think you know what they look like. And I've got the there's hardly any variegation in them. There is variegation in them, but not too much. And I was actually really happy with this because I can really use these. You could choose, there were like 3 or 4 pictures with different floss selections, and you could choose the one that you like and then repost that one. So the other person had posted a different one, so I think it was good that she got hers and I got these. And now I've got some because some people have sent me like one skein. I think you say skein to one of these as well, don't you? Not just DMC. I got like one skein from different people over the year that I've been doing Flosstube, so now I have like quite a few, so I need to use them. But thank you so much. It is lovely colours. You see, I miss stitching. I really miss stitching. I feel it, I miss it. I want to stitch, but something in my body just says no. So, coming to my last point, like I said, there was one picture on here that I wanted to do. Well, I want to do more than one. But there was one, and I just had the proper fabric for it. So I've stitched this. Don't know if it shows up properly. I hope you can see. It's a sort of violet, purple colour. It's not as blue as it shows on the screen. It's stitched in DMC black. It's got a little bit of grey in it, as you can see on the bubbles. Yeah, there. The candles, I didn't have all the colours I needed, but I somehow managed to do those. Then it said that you can use for these, the chandelier has like these hanging bits, and these are made, I've put black seed beads on them. It said you can just do normal cross stitch, or you could use beads, and I had beads, so I put beads on. And the raven up there, if you can see it, he's got a red bead as an eye, and I really love this. And I had a really good finishing idea, and then I changed my mind, and then I changed my mind again, and then I changed my mind again. Now I'm thinking about maybe a shadow box with some golden candles, but maybe I'll put it on a lampshade. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a finisher. Not that I have anybody else here who would finish for me, because I have nobody else here who stitches, but I finished this and I was so happy when I finished it. And this also took me ages, even though it's like tiny and any one of you would stitch it in a day. But it was fun and I enjoyed it, and I loved the fabric. It smells really nice. I love the fabric, the colour, because yeah, for once I'm not stitching on white or cream either. Which makes such a difference. But this was a great stitch. Lots of you might say it's a Halloween stitch. For me it's not. For me it's I like stuff like this. This is me. This is so me. Yeah. So it looks like now I have to do some stitching. I've got so many projects that are kitted up, ready to go. I have my Stitch Mania projects that are still waiting to be finished. Well, more than just started. Who knows? Maybe when the heat wave finally disappears, and I get my room back, because now the sun's shining in from there, and it's right going like onto my DVR. Okay, so I have to put the blinds down as soon as I stop this video, because everything in the path is in full sunshine. I don't know what's there. There's something to drink, there's also something to eat, which is probably melting now. It's just, yeah, too much heat, too much sun, and as you can see, it's white as a sheet, but that doesn't change. I could have been out in the sun all day, every day, since you've seen me last. I would stay this colour. And it says, just in case you were wondering, you light up my day. I thought, well, I'll try something cheery in my Flosstube. Even though I've rattled on for 44 minutes, and I think it must have been about 40 minutes of me blubbering about work, not work, sleep, life problems, first world problems, and a tiny bit of stitching. But it looks like I'll be doing Flosstubes regular, irregular, who knows. I try and watch Flosstubes, but give me time to catch up. I won't catch up on everybody, I know that. But also know that sometimes I just don't feel like commenting, but that doesn't mean that I haven't watched you. Everybody I watch gets a like from me. I know you don't know that was from me, but just know that I put likes on Flosstubes that I've watched. And that's my way of sort of saying, hey, thank you for making a Flosstube. Even if I don't feel like commenting or I have nothing to comment. Sometimes I just have no words, I don't know what to say. Or I don't want to comment, just it happens. That doesn't mean that your Flosstube is any less valuable. I think the community is good, but like I said, a few things at the moment are annoying me, and I won't go into that now because I don't want people to be mad at me because I have an opinion and they might have a different opinion. It's really a matter of, yeah, opinion. A matter of what I see and hear, and it's been very difficult for me to some days to actually open YouTube and watch a Flosstube because I was so mad and angry at things that I heard or saw, and I'm trying to get over that and just watch the Flosstubes that are good for me, that I like watching, people that I know, that I talk to on a regular basis without having to watch Flosstube first. Like I'm friends with Shelley, we speak every day. I'm friends with Kerry and Stitches. I'm friends with Tiffany from Express Life Tifa, who apparently has gone back. She's got her stitching bug back. Well done, Tiffany. Thank you. I'm so happy that I could help. I sent Tiffany one of these little Prairie Schooler cards with Boo on it, and I think it was a ghost. And I sent her lots of other stuff, and she was really happy when she got the package. She loved everything that I sent her. And the one thing she was really, she couldn't stop. She had to start the Prairie Schooler Boo on that day. And she started it, finished it, and now she's stitching another one. She's already finished, I think it's a cat, a Halloween cat, and now she's also she's stitching something, 2 birds. So she was complaining to me that she has these 3 projects and it's been summer and she's been out and Stitchy Bug is sort of gone, and I sent her a whole package full of stuff and a Prairie Schooler like just pushed in there, and she loves it and gets her Stitchy Bug back. So go for it. It's fun. I've also found 1 or 2 new people that I really enjoy and like watching. The Craft Welshie. The Craft Welshie. Oh my goodness. She's been, yeah, the Craft Welshie. She was shouted out a few times already since I discovered her, so I don't need to do shout outs because not a lot of people watch me. Yeah, but Amanda Scottish Stitcher, she hasn't got a Flosstube, but she always watches mine and she always comments, and even if she doesn't comment, we communicate with each other and it's really nice. And it's just, I've got some friends now, and I hope that due to my job, my new job now, I get to know more people and maybe even start going out again and meeting fresh people and building up a new life. I just hope that this is a new start and that something good happens and that I start stitching again. I was going to stitch, I'm stitching September Sapphire Fairy and I wanted to finish by September. Yeah, well, that did not happen. She's still there and the beads and all the floss and everything is still on my kitchen table. It just hasn't been touched. Yeah, it's really bad of me, I know. But maybe maybe, who knows. I don't think I'd do bi-weekly floss tubes because I just don't stitch enough. So who knows, when I come back, if I come back, I'll come back. I'll come back. I need to do 2 years. I mean, Jessie Marie's done 5 years, so I should be doing 2 years at least. And I think that stitching will probably stay with me, and as long as I still stitch, I should be able to do floss tubes. Yeah, before I'm old and grey and don't know how to use a computer. No. Anyway, so I rambled a lot. I finished. I finished 2 pieces. Oh my god, Dawn, you're so bad. Yeah, I got so many goodies. I mean, it's overwhelming that some people just, the generosity that they show. I mean, doing a giveaway for floss. I mean, she already sells her floss, and people love her floss. It was so amazing that she gave away different floss packs, and now I've got a bag of floss, fancy floss, and it's just really nice, you know. And here I got a gift certificate for her Etsy shop, and I could choose the fabric and the bag size that I wanted. I mean, she didn't have to do this, but it's amazing, and it's just so nice, and it's nice that I can, every time I get this out, and whatever project is in it, I'll think of Lou. Lou's Cross Stitch. Check her out on Instagram, Flosstube. I'm not sure what her shop is called. It's probably Lou's Cross Stitch as well, her Etsy shop. She's nice, she's really nice, and follow her, check her out. She does giveaways, so go for it. I mean, it's just so nice. And like I said, Jessie Marie, if she wouldn't have said the 100 Days of Hate stitch, I thought like, nah, I can't do it, nah. And then, well, why not? And I signed up, and I just don't enter any of the giveaways, the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 days. I didn't join that, but I do it for myself, and that's what you're actually meant to do when you stitch. You stitch for yourself, because this is something that I want to put up. And I don't know what I was thinking, but this is not a mini, it's a full-size Hate. It's got 16 pages. I don't think I'll ever finish this in my lifetime. I have an indecent amount of Hate, like, ready to stitch. I'll never get to them. My Mirabilia collection is, yeah. I've got lots of mirrors, lots of them kitted up, some of them not kitted up. And I also have normal projects. Oh, by the way, just in case you haven't seen or heard, on Instagram I saw Stone Street Stitchworks. The lovely Stone Street Stitchworks, who gave us the Royal Wedding freebie that you have seen here on this channel. No, I will not insert the picture. I'm not editing today. Stone Street Stitchworks gave us a freebie for the Royal Wedding sale. They've got a new freebie out. It's with Christmas trees and a truck, and it's lovely. And I'm not allowed to forget that before I shut my computer down I have to print it out, because I love it. It's great. You can find it if you're on Instagram. You can go to Stone Street Stitchworks and you can search for it. It's one of their latest posts. You can see they say this is our new freebie. If you don't have Facebook, you can send them a direct message with your email address and they'll send you a PDF copy. If you have Facebook, go and search for Stone Street Stitchworks Stitchers, I think. or Stone Street Stitchworks. They're linked together, so you'll find both, and you can find it there in the files section. They have it also in the discussion, so you'll find it there where it's linked, and you can find the file, or you can go into the file section and get it there. And it's freebie. It's a freebie. Stitch it. It's a freebie. And Stone Street Stitchworks has lovely patterns. But if they give out freebies all the time, I'll stitch the freebies, and they'll never get my money. Maybe somebody should tell them, or maybe not. Because I've still got the one that I stitched last year for Christmas up there. It's still hanging. And I still enjoy seeing it every single day. So, if they give out freebies, I'll do freebies. I would love to give them my money. I have a few Stone Street Stitchworks on my wish list. But if they give out freebies, I'll stitch the freebies. So, just, anyway. I'm sorry, I'm still rambling on. Maybe you can use my floss tubes to go to sleep to. But I think my voice is not quite as level as... Maybe I should do Stitch With Me's. I can talk a lot, as you know. I can just jump from one subject to the next. So I don't need a tag. I can just talk. Maybe I should do Stitch With Me's, and maybe I should keep my voice in a sort of normal level so that you can listen to Stitch With Me and use them to go to sleep. No. You don't want to see how I stitch. I don't want to show you how I stitch. I can just go on Flosstube and talk. I'll do that if you want. I can talk about anything. You can give me a topic and I'll start talking. It's like there's the BBC4 radio show. Is it a show? Yes, it's a show, even if it's on radio. Just a minute. Where they have 1 minute to talk about a subject without deviation, repetition, or forgotten name, words, you know, hesitation. So they get a subject, and then you have to talk for 1 minute about that subject without deviating, repetition of any word except for the word that you are given, and you're not allowed to hesitate. I will probably be repeating words, I'll probably be deviating, and I would not hesitate. But yeah, I could do that. You could give me a topic and say like 15 minutes, and I'll talk about that topic for 15 minutes. You might get all sorts of other information, but if you have any topic that you would like me to talk about, I'm open for suggestions. Just putting it out there. I'll then do it like voice, floss, what, tube, don't know. But I'll try to keep my voice nice and calm so that maybe you can use it to go to sleep. Who knows? I'm sorry. I haven't done a floss tube for so long that I'm just... It's weekend. I've got weekend. And they didn't come and drill any more holes. So... they have 20 more minutes left. So they might come back. Anyway, a weekend without noise, I hope. I hope it'll come and rain, because then nobody will have a party outside and it'll be quiet. But it'll probably be still 30 degrees. That is Celsius. Just that you know, that's hot. Hot. So everybody's having grills outside in my backyard, where during the week there's building work. At the weekend they have parties on the balconies. Also we have building work on this side and we have building work on that side. And the neighbour back here, I don't know what they are doing. They're installing all sorts of stuff. So I'm living in a building site. I live in one of the quietest parts of town, but it doesn't feel like it. Anyway, as you can see, I can talk about pretty much anything. If you have a subject, let me know. Maybe I'll come back earlier and do a floss tube if I have a subject to talk about. That's not cross stitch, because like I said, I'm embarrassed by how I just don't cross stitch. And I miss it. I really miss it. I miss it every day that I'm not cross stitching. But I pick it up and I put one stitch in and I put it away again. It's just my... Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened because it said my camera ran out of time. Not possible because laptop. I'm filming on a laptop. There's no restriction on time. I've filmed floss tubes that are longer than this. So maybe my camera wants to tell me something. So I'll end this here. I still see myself as part of the Flosstube community. I check Instagram, try to check it every day. I try to get onto Facebook every day. YouTube and Flosstube not so much every day at the moment. I'm sure I will be back and I'll be watching the floss tubes. And I hope I get back into stitching. I'll keep you updated. And I hope that you are all stitching and enjoying it. And wow, Shelley, you stitched so much. Yeah, I don't know how you do it. Even while you on holiday. And join in the sales. There's lots of them going around. Nearly every floss tuber is talking about some sort of sale. So go and join those if you don't know what to stitch. Or if you're like me, stitch whatever you want. And I'll be back, and happy stitching to all of you. So, bye!